at the beginning of the interview, is it a good thing to shake your interviewer's hand? Not him, okay? Not him. Shake your interviewer's hand. Is it? How many says it is? How many says it's not? Well, there is no requirement for it, but certainly in terms of giving a good first impression, shaking your interviewer's hand will really do the trick. Why? Why do you think does it contribute to giving a good first impression? Just make a guess. Why?
Because there is respect.
All right, there is respect. What else? Anyone else? Why does it, give a first impression when you're shaking someone's hand? Does it mean that you mean business? It does, right? It gives the interviewer this impression, hey, this guy or this girl really wants to be hired, right? And it shows how professional you are. So let's talk more about the handshake. Well, the handshake has been with us for quite some time already. But do you know that in ancient times, the handshake was meant to be a gesture of peace? People shake each other's hands because they want to be friends with that person. And incidentally, do you know why the right hand is always extended and used in a handshake? It never is the left hand. It's always the right hand. Why? Because in ancient times, sorry for saying that all the time, in ancient times, the right hand is the hand that you use when you're fighting, right? It's the hand that always carries the weapon. So, in other words, when you're offering your hand to another person in a handshake, it shows the other person that you're not carrying any weapon and that you are coming in peace. That's why it's always the right hand. You do not use the left hand when shaking someone's hand. Okay. Studies show that when you actually shake someone's hand before an interaction, the interaction becomes more positive. So this is another argument why it's a good thing to shake your interviewer's hand before the session or the interview actually starts. So, what are the things you should remember when you are shaking someone's hand? First, eye contact, the grip, the position of your hand, the way you shake it, and the flow. Here are examples of wrong handshakes. You do not shake a person's hand like that, ever. Because instead of impressing the person, you would end up just disappointing him, right? So you do not do it like that. Okay, to shake or not to shake? Do not shake when you have both your hands full. If you see that both of you are holding a coffee mug, what's the point of extending a handshake, right? Next, there is a large table between you and the other party. Next, you're behind a desk, you are sitting, and you're a male greeting a female in a casual setting. Try going to Smallville, and when you meet a girl, shake a girl's hand. Do you think you will get a date? I don't think so, simply because it's inappropriate. It's not the place for handshakes, right? Next. So here's a video I'd like you to enjoy. Here are different ways of not to shake someone's hand. Please play the video. All right, so who would think that handshakes are a boring topic for discussion? Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is to practice and try shake the hand of the person next to you. Come on, let's shake each other's hand. All right, so enjoy ka mo, no? All right, so, all right, we don't want to keep you longer than is necessary, so let's move on, forget the handshake, and let's now talk about poise and posture. How are poise and posture important? Okay. Poise is really nothing but the alignment of your body, right? It's really nothing but that. All right. These are the different ways of, these are the wrong postures, the one at the left and on the right, but the one on the center is, of course, the right posture. All right. Guys, I just have one tip on posture, because I know that many of us have a hard time maintaining that aligned posture. So how do you usually make sure that it's aligned and it's easy for you? Simple. Just use the earlobe and the shoulder technique. To know whether you have the right posture or not, just make sure that your earlobes are aligned with the tip of your shoulder. In other words, just make sure lang na tupong ang earlobe nyo sa inyo abaga. Because when it is, your body or your back will automatically adjust. Right. So just keep that tip. It works for me, right? And I hope it works for you too. So the technique is the earlobe and shoulder technique. That's a good way of reminding yourself if you're observing the right posture or not. Now let's talk about introductions. There are just 2 steps in introducing someone. The first one is, the first person's name you say is always the most important person. Second, thereafter, everyone else's name is introduced to that most important person. For example, when you are introducing your new friend to your mom, who is the more important person? Some of you said the friend, but that's okay. But, you know, generally the mom would be the more important person. So how do you do that? Mom, I'd like to introduce X, who is my friend, right? That was not my intention. Whoever has hugots here, not my intention. All right. So, this is a wrong way of introducing. Jane Doe, I would like you to meet John Smith. Why is it wrong? Simply because you do not say, I would like you to meet. Why is that wrong? Because they're already face to face, right? Why would you say, I would like you to meet? They're already face to face. So, what do you say instead? Jane Doe, this is John Smith, our new staff member. Jane Doe is our CEO. All right. So for the interest of your tummies, I will try to skip some of the slides. All right. Very lastly, I promise, but very important, your digital footprint. Basically, what it means is, what you post on social media forms part of your professional image. whether you like it or not, especially Facebook. What you post on Facebook forms part of your professional image. And I would like you to take a look at these actual examples of people who, because of their posts, got into trouble. So this person actually applied for her insurance benefits because she was apparently sick. And then she posted on Facebook pictures of her enjoying the beach. So as a result, the insurance agency decided not to give her her benefits and have her go through an investigation simply because of that apparently harmless post on Facebook showing her and some friends enjoying a day at the beach. All right, so that's just one. Next, this person, unfortunately, was the subject of a smear campaign. Imagine news spreading on Facebook that you are HIV positive, right? So what is the lesson of this story? The lesson of the story is be careful who you choose as your friends on Facebook. And secondly, be careful what pictures you make available on Facebook because these are easily downloaded and can be used against you. Next, I don't know, some years back, there is this person, two TV personalities, R.R. Enriquez and Jack Meyerhofer. What they did was they were driving and the traffic was really bad, and there was this driver in front of them, or maybe a little to their side, who was actually so sleepy. And then what they did was they kept on playing pranks on the driver, and little did they know that the whole thing was being videoed, and it was posted on Facebook. So as a result, they were bashed. So the lesson of the story, be careful what you do, because other people might just post on Facebook anything about you, right? Next. Now this girl, Tanya Dickinson, worked at the New Zealand Social Development Ministry. She described her job as a very expensive paperweight. So that means she is being paid very well, but she is not doing enough work. That's what she posted on Facebook. Soon after, she was fired. So be careful. Your posts on Facebook may cost you your job. So here are some tips, some reminders on how you should manage your social media accounts. First, when you post something, always think, who is able to read this? Is it the whole world, the universe, my friends? Am I posting in anger? Next, could someone feel disrespected when I post this? Am I revealing too much about myself? Remember guys, Facebook is not your personal diary. You do not post on Facebook things like, I'm having lunch now. I'm done with lunch. Will now sleep. All right? It's not your diary. Next, am I showing a bad side of myself on Facebook? And lastly, is it possible that someone could misinterpret what I'm trying to say? If the answer to these questions, to just one of these questions is a yes, then you do not post what you're supposed to post. So I guess my final question to everyone, and I know that I mentioned in the beginning that you do not develop your professional image overnight. It's something that you work on continuously. Even I still work on my professional image. So my challenge to everyone is start working on that image. Because after all, this world is a world of first impressions. So that being said, guys, thank you very much. And thank you for staying. But before I end, I would just like to acknowledge one person who's been working here, the person who I have been asking to play the video, etc. And the reason I want to introduce him is because he's also one of you. Gian Alvarez belongs to class 2009 of the College of Nursing. Show yourself, they hardly saw you. Come on. And he works as a training officer at HGS. But that's not the only reason I'm introducing him. Another reason why I'm introducing him, and maybe the more important one, is I actually got here very early. I was here as early as 7:30. So I had no choice but to roam around. And I was lucky enough to be with him. And because he was here, and because he was a Centralian, I asked him to tour me around the campus. And there were so many things that he told me. And one of the things that I noticed when he was telling me all these stories about the different things that can be found on campus is, I can see that he was saying it with pride. Pride because he was here for 4 years of his life. Pride because he has had good memories here. Why am I sharing that? I'm sharing that because when you leave the portals of this university, one of the things you can proudly claim as your own is the diploma of CPU on your hand. And I'd like you to capitalize on that because it will open doors for you on your road to developing a professional career. So for the second time, thank you very much, CPU.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you to the Team Hinduja for the morning session. So before we end our morning session, we'd like to call the Director of the Guidance Service Center, Dr. Raquel L. Polequeo, and the whole team of the Hinduja Global Solutions for the awarding of our Certificate of Appreciation. Central Philippine University, the Guidance Services Center, through the Placement Office, presents this Certificate of Appreciation to Hinduja Global Solutions team for partnering with the university in this endeavor to provide students with timely job hunting information during the pre-employment training seminar on March 9, 2017, held at the Rose Memorial Auditorium, Central Philippine University, Haro, Iloilo City, given this 9th day of March 2017 during the 111th year of Central Philippine University. Signed, R. Shayan C. Aberia, Placement Officer, Peso Manager. Signed, Dr. Raquel L. Polequeo, Director, Guidance Services Center. And signed, Reverend John L. Howard H. Hico, Vice President for Student Affairs. Okay. A big round of applause to our team, Hinduja Global Solutions. Ma'am Rax. Ma'am. Okay. Thank you. So that ends our morning session. So thank you.